Mr. Brad Guidell, Tig Old Biddies, let me know if you can hear me. We're going to be getting going here as soon as Discover Crypto is done. I just want to make sure the broadcast is working this time. We got a lot of great charts to look at today. We got Bitcoin's stalling out a little bit. Is it confirming a breakdown right as we speak? You let me know what you think. Drop your emojis in the chat. Can you hear me? We will be going live here in just a moment. All right, everybody, we're going to be getting going here in just a moment. Hope you're all feeling good. Markets are kind of stalling at the moment. It is creating an opportunity. Let's see what that opportunity is. We got some great charts lined up. Everybody, drop in your emojis. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? We're going to be getting going here in just a second. This is round 2 today. We had an issue streaming this morning, but we're about to get it going. So everybody, get involved. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. We got no camera. Give me 1 second. What the mother? What's up, everybody? All right, let's do this again. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. We've been having some tech issues over here, but we got it all sorted out. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. Let's get this going. We got a lot of great charts we're going to break down today. Looking at some on-chain, looking at some stuff within the price action. We are stalling at this moment, and I want to make sure that we can make sure that we have the strategy in place to dominate and take advantage of the volatility, and also sit on our hands and do nothing if we don't know what to do. So what are we doing today? We're breaking all that down. If you don't know who I am, well, welcome to the show. If this is your first time, I can guarantee it's not going to be your last time. My name's Kellam, director of BitLab Academy, breaking this down for you on a daily basis. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Shout out to every single one of you that are here. I see Hannah in the house. I see Big Hands Dan, Alexander G, and special shout out to everybody that was here with the issue we had this morning. We did a whole live stream and somehow OBS did not broadcast it, but we are going live for you right now. And everybody let me know, do you guys, I was thinking maybe you all would prefer this time right after Discover Crypto, where we talk about the news and then we break down the charts right after. Let me know in the chat if you like this idea of having a midday stream instead of the 9:45 a.m. Maybe the 9:45 a.m. will just be for the members. Let me know what you're thinking. Let's go ahead and break this down. Well, first things first, let's go ahead and look at what's going on in the charts. Man, Bitcoin is pushing up. We had a beautiful bull flag here that broke out, I mean, almost exactly to the target, depending on where you want to draw this more conservatively here or here. I tell you, I like to do it usually somewhere around the middle. In this case, I'm doing it right from this 20 moving average, and price action went right into this region. We have another, do we want to call this a bull flag? Well, the problem with it potentially being a bull, oh, shout out. We got some gifted memberships in the house. Shout out Alexander G. Thank you for doing that. Remy K, welcome to being a BitLab member. Colton Schwetz, welcome to being a member. We also got Asterisk X and Crypto Forward, Ronaldo Ball. Cannot see, my screen's too far away. Shout out to everybody that's here. I want to see everybody in the house. If you're a member, drop in what you're feeling on the emojis. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you a screaming chicken? Are you looking for that boom breakout to the upside? Well, we're looking at this. People very often look at chart patterns like this and they say, oh, this is another bull flag because we got the flagpole and we have this sort of, my problem with this here is the fact that this pennant area that would be considered part of the flag is longer than the flagpole is. If you think about that, if you had, think about a flagpole with a giant flag on it, it essentially would pull that flagpole over, and that's essentially what's happening. It's not looking like really a structure that's looking to scream for a breakout to the upside. Very well could happen, but what we're seeing here actually is a price action not only breaking down from here, but we're in the moment of potentially setting up a confirmation of this breakdown if this cannot get past these two levels of resistance directly overhead. In this case, we have the upper level of resistance and this lower level of previous support of this pennant here, the symmetrical triangle. But the price action, look at this, struggling right at this. And not only is it struggling at this level, it's actually struggling also at this 20 moving average, which is right here. We're looking at the 1 hour chart, and we're looking here on Blofin. If you want to sign up and trade with us on Blofin, the link is down below in the description. I believe there is a big giveaway. If you sign up, you get some bonus money in your account to trade with. Now, coming over to what we want to talk about today, we got a lot of charts we want to look at. We're going to be looking at some of the global liquidity. We're going to be looking at where we're at in the market cycle, and we got a couple other things we want to look at as well. But I have a couple things I wanted to touch on, and I like the idea of doing this after Discover Crypto. As these minutes pass by, I'm thinking more and more we might have to do the midday stream following Discover Crypto so they can cover the news and we can come down and break down the charts, because that's what all of you that are really involved with this space, you want to know. Are you making the right decisions? Do you want a different perspective? And I don't want you to trade on the information that I give you. I want you to take knowledge from the different types of strategies and the format for which I go and do diligence on different projects and break down the charts and technical analysis and on-chain data. That's what we do here at BitLab Academy on this live stream. We try to bring you all the different tools you need. And if you want to take it deeper, head over to bitlabacademy.com, sign up with us. We've got all the courses for you to really break everything down from beginner to pro, whether it's just the most basic stuff. Share this with your friends and family, all the way through understanding how to do self-custody, trading fundamentals, psychology of trading, on-chain data analysis. There's 20 different charts in here that we break down to really help you see where market cycle tops and bottoms are, and when there's different types of buyers and sellers at different points in the market, so you know what to do, how to read candles, how to read candle patterns, indicators, and trading strategies. Get involved with us. So now heading over here, we talked about this. We already covered this on the Discover Crypto show. Over $2 trillion basically in money laundered money, 500 billion held by JP Morgan. They're saying Bitcoin is being used for money laundering. They're absolutely a joke. I really think that this is a signal that they're probably buying more right now. So let's keep that in mind. Now, Bitcoin gold ETF. I know I touched on this on the Discover Crypto show, but what we want to do here is understand that this is an analog for what may be possible with the Bitcoin spot ETFs. They're right around the corner. Everybody wants them to happen this year. But in addition to that being not very likely, we also have all the pressures. And it seems like you got the DOJ judgment against Binance, but then in addition to that, now they have Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, on Capitol Hill talking about how he would shut down Bitcoin if he was in government. My fear with this is looking at this gold ETF chart, looking and considering what JP Morgan said, considering what happened with the DOJ, $4.3 billion fine and possible further penalty against CZ from Binance CEO. It feels a little bit like they're stacking the deck against a potential delay not happening in January, maybe happening around March when all the rest of the deadlines are, maybe even further beyond that. I think at some point it will happen, but we cannot trade and put 40x leverage on a position just because we know spot ETFs are coming and we see this chart and we ape in. Because if you really zoomed into this, there's some thoughts here. And actually, I'm going to throw it over to Joshua Jake. And I apologize. This is going to cut in the middle because we actually did a stream this morning and there was an issue with OBS that did not broadcast the signal. But this is what Josh had to say about the gold ETFs and also what this may mean for what's going on, what may be coming.
Is or isn't. History goes to show us when we had the gold-based ETF launch in November of 2004, there was actually a 6-month period of sell-off from the price action from that. So this just goes back to what Warren Buffett, what Charlie Munger, the famous investor, always told us and taught us, which is that, you know, buy the rumor, sell the type of news event. So I'm honestly expecting that sell-off. And unfortunately, it is bullish long-term, but you know, people don't realize when you zoom in on this chart that even though it looks like it's up only for 8 years, there was a 6-month. There was, oh, I gotta double check it right there. So there you guys can see now, there was 6 months or so of downwards action. In fact, $300 billion, guys, $300 billion. That's with a B. We saw an outflow of funds coming from that ETF for gold, which was a $3 trillion market cap. And so that's way higher than where Bitcoin's at. So even though that historically allowed gold to go on this massive runoff, you know, you just have to have that kind of collective mind. And you can go back to the full screen here of, you know, we are still months away from this Bitcoin halving. I do personally believe this is actually the last cycle of opportunity in the ways that we have seen before with the ICO booms and all of these altcoins pumping massively, because I'm under the assumption that my belief, and this is of course, my own opinion, guys, is I work very closely with a lot of Bitcoin miners. I've toured a lot of facilities and I've worked a lot with marginal cost of production in these mining centers on their legislation in the state of Florida. And I truly believe that Bitcoin is the world's greatest commodity, and it's going to start accessing this negative energy market, which is only really controllable by Exxon and ConocoPhillips. So, you know, right now it's a lot more decentralized in that aspect, but I expect over the coming years, these massive energy providers to take advantage of Bitcoin mining because they get way lower costs and in fact, sometimes just have a ton of wasted energy that they could be increasing their own GDP utilizing miners with. So that is kind of that's the long-term, that is, if we go back to this chart here, when you're talking about this ETF, guys, right now we have one more cycle, but there will be a point where, I do believe Bitcoin just goes on this significant rally, whether that's I'm going to say this on your stream, $500,000-$600,000 in 15, 20 years. And that would be the outlook that you have here with gold here. And so again, you want to zoom in, you want to make sure in the near term that there could be this sell-off. And that's kind of my thoughts here, man. That's where I'm at here.
So I gotta know. Are we locked in? Is the ETF, the launching of the ETFs for Bitcoin spot, is this potentially going to change the market cycles for Bitcoin, where we have a more sustained, I don't want to call it sustained or controlled, but that the more controlled burn to the upside versus having these push up, blow off tops in the multi-year bear markets? Or do you think we're going to get something a little bit more sustained because we have more access points and more capital that's flowing in with people that have no idea about what the halving even is?
Yeah. So, after this cycle, I think we're going to start seeing, this is a merging of an entire asset class. There will be a point where Bitcoin is a multi-trillion-dollar asset and it's way less volatile. Now, does that mean altcoins aren't going to be as volatile? Well, we have quantum, we have AI, we have advantements that are coming out all the time. So there's always going to be there's going to be this trend where you can still find and get those, early investors or those early projects, et cetera, so to speak. But this is that last time, I think, for Bitcoin. Like, once Bitcoin's past that 100, 200K level, I mean, your upside is significantly reduced. Even if that long-term outlook, 20, 30 years, is still significant. I mean, look at gold, right? Gold went from $400 up to $1,200, or sorry, actually it went from $400 up to almost $2,000. And while that's, some people would be bored and you would yawn about that, you have to realize how much money is actually in that, how much worth that actually has. And so, from Bitcoin and the halving, I think the halving becomes less and less important each and every cycle as, it's kind of like diminishing returns, right? So you're just going to see this inevitable kind of, it's not going to peak, but it's going to slow down. You're not going to have a 6-10x for Bitcoin every single cycle.
So this is our last best chance.
Exactly. But thank you guys for having me today. I got another thing I got to hop on, but always a pleasure.
Thanks for popping in. Thanks for the coffee. Everybody, shout out for Mr. Joshua. Check. There it is. Sorry about that. I just was switching between screens there. You should be able to hear me now. There was, I just wanted to really bring that video in from the recording that we did this morning with Josh when we had the issue with the streaming, because there's so many different things that are changing. The dynamics of Bitcoin are changing going into this cycle, going into this halving. The fact that also, remember, years ago, miners were getting 50 Bitcoin per block mined. Now it cut down to 12 and a half, I believe. Then it cut down to 6.25. This next one's going to be 3.125. The impact of the reduction in supply is going to have less and less of an effect going on into the future. So we need to take that into account, and we need to be smart about what we're doing, because the dynamics of this marketplace are changing. But one of the things that we can count on is the fact that we are going to really hit that ticker. We're really going to hit that mark of mass adoption. And when it happens, it's going to happen very, very, very quickly. I do want to shout out, I gifted some memberships there to all these new people in the house. If this is your first time here, drop a comment here. Where are you tuned in from? What city, what state, what country? Are you in your house? Are you in the car? Are you walking around? Do you have the phone in your pocket? Let us know. Shout out to Connor Daigan, Indigenous Bastard. We got Gen X Crypto, Karen Jane, Blockchain Biker, Crypto Warlock, Sean Perry, and the Franchise. And I've also, of course, Eric X and Early Birdie. Shout out to all the new members there, and shout out to everybody here that is a member already. Make sure you drop your emojis. Let me know what you're thinking. I think we may be hitting that next mark for another emoji. Let me know in the comments what you think you want to see as the next emoji. Now, I want to jump back in here. We're talking about the halving and the impact and all this. We need to make sure we understand what has happened in the past so that we can at least have an outline or an idea for the future. I do think this time is different, but I don't think it's going to be so different that it's going to do something that we've absolutely never seen before. Ace of Hearts says Qatar is ready, Kelly. You know what? Bitcoin is ready for Qatar. That's right. I'm ready for any country out there that wants to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet and really integrate in investments in this space, because Bitcoin is, remember, Bitcoin is an asset that is for the people, by the people, in which you have to trust no people. Gold has middlemen. They have arbiters of the market value with people that manipulate it. Banks are manipulating the dollar. Government is manipulating the dollar by printing it out of control. Bitcoin is that asset that displaces every asset that we've ever seen in history, because it is engineered in a way that prevents the bullshit that we see with the US dollar, the bullshit that we see with the Turkish lira, the bullshit that we see with all the other fiat currencies that are out there. Bitcoin is a better solution, and it does provide different types of functionality that are between different types of assets, whether it be a monetary asset, like a currency, whether it be a store of value, whether it be transactable, near immediacy. Yes, it's 10 minutes on average. But think about I used to live in Thailand. When I would send money to myself from my own bank, it would take sometime between 6 to 13 days for me to send money to myself. So 10 minutes is pretty damn immediate, if you ask me. So let's go ahead and jump back into this chart and realize that we have this halving coming up. And each time we've had a halving, if we scroll up here, we can see each time we've had a halving, this is it laid out rather than them being on top of each other. The halving has marked the start of the true parabolic run of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin really starts being that signal for capital flow into the crypto space. It champions the idea of risk is coming back into the market, especially for crypto. And so we have to pay attention to this. We can also see this when we come over here to, let me see where it's at. Boom, boom, boom. Where is it at? Right here, the global liquidity cycle tied in with the halving cycle. Do you think that it's one or the other? I asked this on a tweet that I retweet here from Tech Dev, somebody I've had on my podcast, Crypto Answered, several times. It's been a while now, but we're going to have to get him here on BitLab Academy. But the question is, do you think it's a halving or do you think it's a global liquidity cycle? Because looking at this chart, knowing nothing about the halving, one could argue that the Bitcoin price action is driven by the global liquidity cycle, not the halving. Or was Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever he, she, or they were they so brilliant that they happened to line up the halving roughly about to straddle that global liquidity cycle? It doesn't matter to me which it is. It doesn't matter if it's a halving or the global liquidity. Maybe the halving was programmed around the global. It doesn't matter. All I know is that I can look to the halving as a marker for when price action truly starts to explode. We can also explain it away with more traditional asset data, looking at the global liquidity here and saying, man, each time these crossed, look at this. It wasn't at the start of the bull run. It was after the consolidation period happened in the bottoms here, and then the price action started pushing up. And then that global liquidity, this crossover here on the volatility index suggests that, man, this is the time when the true explosion starts to happen. So my question to you is, are you prepared? Are your bags packed? And if not, have you been diving into learning strategy, learning about Bitcoin, learning about how to do diligence, doing your diligence on these different assets so that you can capitalize on the space? And I got to ask right now, if you're watching, if this is your first time, you got to hit that like button. You got to hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, join us here in BitLab Academy, because that's what this is all about, breaking these things down. So now coming back over to, this is another chart right here with the global liquidity. And we can see this recent run up that we've had. Look at the global liquidity. As price was stalling right here, price was stalling as the global liquidity was falling. But look at this. We got a large uptick here, and it also perfectly correlates with where the price action was pushing up. So is it because the halving's approaching in the Bitcoin spot ETFs and so blah, 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 blah? Or can liquidity paint that picture for us as well? It's interesting how these things, different types of data points, can support the same notion. And when you want to trade, when you want to dominate these charts, in order to take a trade to be profitable and do it consistently over time, you need to be able to identify, in this case, if we're doing technical analysis on a 1 hour, 2 hour, 15-minute chart, doesn't matter what the time frame is, you want to find different levels that agree with each other as well as a confluence of data points and strength signals and momentum signals and money flow in or out signals that are agreeing with a directional move coming into the chart. But we have to be aware. But we have to be aware that when we're trading, everybody out there has a different set of their own data points as well. Some of those data points that you're using, hundreds, thousands, maybe millions of other people are using also. This is why it's important to really cultivate an edge in this market and try to draw data from as many different points as possible that you understand, not just data points to throw at your face and drown you in that data, but really master each data point and formulate an edge that you can look at things with your own unique view and understand that other people are trading this asset as well. And if you're seeing a target that's perfectly clear, this is the target, it's not a good idea to trade and set a take profit at the exact target that many other people may be seeing as well. This is why you want to ladder in your entries and exits and ladder out your exits, right? We want to make sure that we can capitalize on the meat of the move, the majority of it. You don't need to capture every single dollar. If you try to do that in every trade, you're going to end up with no money because you're going to be donating your money to the game. If you want to learn more about this, make sure you check out bitlabacademy.com. We break this all down for you, and we've got the community to support you along the way. So come on back to the charts. This is what we're seeing. These are the levels I'm watching. Now, you might ask, why do I have this level down here? Well, this isn't the only low level I'm looking at. I'm also looking at this level all the way down here, 31.6. This, for me right now, is a dream buy. $31,600, 32, 33, anywhere in this region right here is a dream buy for me, and it's outlined on the chart that it is a likelihood. Why? Because if we zoom out on this chart, we can see very clearly this is the last distribution point from which price broke down, this previous high of this range. So for the price action to come down here, this would not necessarily scare me. This would say, you've got another opportunities. You have another opportunity to stuff some more assets into your portfolio. This is a buy opportunity, and this isn't scary because price coming back to this level is a normal thing in price action. When we see price action push up, we want to see rise, retrace, rise, retrace, rise. And these retraces very often come back to the previous high zone, as we can see, just like I just marked out here. If you want to see it in action on this chart, we can see it right here. If I zoom out on this chart just a little bit, let's go to the 8 hour, zoom out. Now look at this price action. Push up, where'd it come back to? Previous high. Push up, where'd it come back to? Previous high. Now, this one was a little different. This barely even got to this previous all-time high. It's not all-time high, sorry. This barely even got to this previous range high. And at this point, the breakdown came back and retested this level again. So it wouldn't be out of context. In fact, it would be within the normal scope of price action for this to at some point where this chops us around even for a month or two. Price action on Bitcoin can chop sideways for 4 months if it wants to. It doesn't have to break up or down. I am merely prepared if the price action does start coming down, I have levels to watch. And I am a net buyer. I don't know about you, but I am a net buyer going into this next halving, going into this election cycle year, going into the Bitcoin spot ETFs on the horizon, getting approved. Anything where it comes down, if it retests this area, I'm going to be a buyer there. I'll still have orders down in here, but if the price action runs away, I merely will take out some of those orders, free up some of that dry powder. And if this price action does push up into the golden pocket, somewhere between $48,000 and $52,000 in this region here, I don't necessarily think that means price is going to continue up. In fact, we've seen time and time again when price action pushes up into the golden pocket, whether it's on a macro time basis, like in this case, if we look at the 3-day, we can see if it pushes up into this region, very, very good opportunity, not necessarily to sell everything, but to take some profits off the table, because the likelihood of this price action moving down some is more likely than not. We have seen in both of the previous halving cycles. Right here, look at this. Push up, huge breakdown into the halving. Push up, breakdown, push up, breakdown. A lot of consolidation. push up, breakdown into the halving. Now, which one of these are we going to get? We can't know until the time elapses and we see how it plays out. Shout out Karen James. Thank you. And I want to shout out all the members that are in the house today. All those of you with the beakers next to your name. I want you to notice next to your name, there's some of you that have fairly empty beakers and some of you have beakers that have filled up a little bit. The longer you're a member, the more full that beaker gets. Once you get past, I think 3 months or 6 months, then it changes colors and it just keeps getting cooler and cooler. And we're going to be adding another emoji this evening. So let me know what emoji you'd like to see. Shout out to everybody that is here. Let's get back to the charts. I want to break down some TA on some different coins. So all you members that are in the house right now, all you green names, and you're welcome to join if you're not a member yet. And if you haven't subscribed, look down below. If your thing does not say subscribe, what are you doing? Hit subscribe. There's no drawdown to having another person that you're listening to, getting another perspective on this market. Also somebody that's breaking down strategy, healthy strategy, not shilling you different coin projects. And this, no, we're just trying to break down how the hell I went from having no money to having a great living, trading and living in the crypto ecosystem, and also prevent you from losing $70,000 in one trade. Like I've done the stupid mistakes. My goal with this is to prevent all of you from making the stupid mistakes that I've made along the way, and perfect your craft in a much easier, less painful way than I had to go through it. So let's go ahead and look at, just deleting all these lines while I'm talking. Let's go ahead and look at this. Okay, on the 3-day, the stochastics did angle up, but look at this. RSI is starting to roll. It's starting to roll over a little bit, but it doesn't. This is not yet a clear signal about what direction it wants to go. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this. Let's get down to the 12-hour and see this. Now we got the volume falling off right here on the bottom of the chart. This is volume. This is how much each one of these candles is corresponding with the candle directly above it. How much volume, how much Bitcoin, in this case, I'm looking at Bitcoin. If you're looking at Ethereum, how much Ethereum was traded on this candle. And we can see the trend if there's interest in what's happening in that trend. So shout out. Let me fill that beaker. That's right, Brandon Butfrey. You're going to get it. You're going to fill it up for sure. Stick around, and we're doing a lot more member streams, trading, live trading for the members, all that kind of stuff. And again, if you haven't yet, make sure you check out bitlabacademy.com. Join us over here. You can enroll right here. There's also a free section, but get involved in the Discord. Don't switch. Get involved in the Discord here as well, because we got a lot of different charts. We got some humor as well, of course, but charts set up. If you have questions about, if you make an error and you try to figure out what went wrong, you can ask in here. There's different chart setups and trades, and John Dalton has been killing it lately with the calls that he's been making. So join us here. Join us and share your thoughts. Check out the charts and follow along with what's going on. Now, Bitcoin, look at this. This is looking like it's going to be a very clear. It's looking like it's setting up to be a good opportunity to short if you're somebody that wants to short in this market. Now, some would argue that in an uptrend, you don't short. If you're a professional trader, absolutely go for it. If you've been doing this a long time, go for it. If you want to take the trade and take a very, very tight stop loss, go for it. But be smart about what you're doing in this market, because this thing can whip back and forth as more and more people get aware of this, especially with the price pushing up as it is going into what is, I think, going to be the most bullish time in history since the 2011, 2012 astronomical gains we had. We've had the 2017 gains. We had the 2020 into 2021 gains. But I think this cycle is going to eclipse what happened in 2021 because of the awareness and institutions and capital that is going to flood into this space. So let's be careful here that just because you see, for instance, on this chart, just because this is looking like a clear opportunity to short, the alternative way to look at this is if you took a long from somewhere down here and you've taken no profits, this may be a good opportunity to take profits on your long and look for a lower entry, rather than short here and have this reverse and go against you. Because you never miss a move in crypto, in trading. You make stupid moves. All of us have. I've bought high and I've sold low. Okay. I've chopped in and out of a trade. I've revenge traded. I've kamikaze traded. If you've done any of those things, throw a 1 in chat. Every single one of you should throw a 1 in chat, because we have all had that. But can you guys all hear me? Oh, that was Kid Pulliam. Okay. That was your Bluetooth. Okay, good. If you've ever made an error and then you made a subsequent error after that, throw one in chat. Let everybody know that they're not the only dummies out there. I'm a dummy. You're a dummy. We're all dummies. Our job with trading is to build strategy that helps us from being a dummy as often as possible. Because we're human. It's only human nature to be subjected to your emotions. That's what it is to be a conscious animal, is to have emotions and be triggered by that. And also knowing how exciting this market is right now, we want to make every opportunity to add to our portfolio. But sometimes by trying to do that, we trade out of capital. And then we're in a worse position going into the next cycle. This is why you need to separate your portfolio and put certain allocation to trading. And as you take profits in that trading portfolio, throw 30% of those profits in your long-term hold. Throw 30% into your bank account. That's right. Take some money out of the market so you can realize what it is you're doing this for, to make your life better, to fix your house, to get that car, to fix your car, if to take your wife or your husband or your family on a vacation. If you're doing this along the way and you've taken zero money out ever, unless you have only Bitcoin and your plan is to hold it 10 years, I think that's an argument to say, okay, you didn't take any profit. I can get behind that. But if you're trading altcoins and you've never taken profits, there's an issue with the strategy that you're trying to employ. So let's go ahead and jump in here. Let's look at what's going on here. We already talked about Bitcoin. Boom. There we go. Too many buttons here. Chainlink. Chainlink had an epic push up after a long consolidation. In fact, this consolidation lasted 522 days. Not only did it last 522 days, how could you have known that maybe this was about to break out? Well, let's talk about that, because this was telegraphing it. We have an inverted head and shoulders right here. We have this clear level of resistance right there. So with that being said, even if you didn't buy this low down here, that's okay. That's okay. We have the inverted head and shoulders right here, as I was just saying. Clear level of resistance. If you weren't able to buy here, that's okay. You're very rarely going to get the absolute bottom of a move. Let the chart patterns indicate to you what the market narrative is developing into, so you can ride the narrative rather than trying to catch the narrative before it starts. So this inverted head and shoulders on the daily chart here, this inverted head and shoulders, how long did it take? Let's see. This inverted head and shoulders was 241 days, almost a year in the making. So the trade was right here. This was the trade. Now we got a giant bull flag going on right now. Is this target something that's going to happen with Chainlink? As it stands right now, Chainlink's holding up fairly well, in considering some of the other market is pulling back a little bit, but this is sitting right here in this bull pennant. So we want to watch this very carefully and make sure that this doesn't do something like this. And we go short here only to have this reverse on us, because this is very likely at this stage in the market. The market makers out there, smart money, whales, their mission, let's not call it manipulation. Their mission, just like you, is to make money in this market. Now, if they have a leg up because they have more capital and they have other friends that they can move the market in certain directions, it's not their fault. But let's not look at this, get traded out of this, and then the market goes up and it's like, damn, and then this goes up to $110 or something ridiculously amazing, and you traded out here and then you never got back in. Don't do that. So what I'm looking for here, if this does, I'm looking for a reversal opportunity, and I'm looking for a break of this region right here, this descending trend line that we can see right here on Chainlink, and on this, then break of this region, then we can look for potential, some potential take profits up into this region. And look at this target. It goes right into this order block zone, double order block. One here, back here, May 2021. Another order block here started November 2021. I'm looking at the date down here on the bottom as I move my mouse. But these are double order block area where there's a lot of liquidity interest, a lot of orders flooding into the order book, and we can see this target goes directly right in the middle of this. Does this mean I take profit at this exact level? No, that is not what it means. We want to pay attention to levels in the chart. For instance, this is a great level. Look at this point of control right here. This is right about where I was going to draw a line, but I was going to draw a line right here, this previous high. Great opportunity to take a little bit of profits once it gets up into this level. But let's do something further. Let's come over here from the top. Let's take a Fibonacci option F from the top all the way to the bottom. Option F is a very quick key. If you're on a PC, it's going to be Alt F, and that's a quick key way to pull up the Fibonacci. A couple other quick keys you can use is Option T, Alt T. If you're on PC, is a trend line. Option V is a vertical line. Option H is a horizontal line. Option J is a horizontal ray. You see, these are quick ways that you can dominate it here on the on your trading view. So let's look at this. I did not even notice this before. Did you see this right here, top to bottom? And look at where the golden pocket goes. Look at where this target goes directly into the golden pocket here of the chain link chart. So I'm looking right here. We have this previous high and the 0.5 fib right in here. I'm looking to take a little bit of profits here, small. You know, you don't trade out your whole position, especially when you know it's going up, but you want to take advantage of profits on the way up of an asset that is performing some profits that then you can rotate into an asset that has not yet moved. You see how that works? That's what we want to do. So, yep, Best Buy, blah, blah, blah. Yep. So let's go ahead and look at a couple other things here. We got, let's look at Cardano. How's our girl Cardano doing? She's been doing some work lately. Look at that move. She's ripping right now. This is on the daily chart though. Let's get down to the 24-minute. She's getting up in there. Look at that. There's a line there. What is the line? Well, let's zoom out on the chart. Let's see. Look at that. This previous range high. Let's turn off these other indicators. Previous range high. This is what she's coming up into right now. So if she gets up in here and she has a little bit of a rejection, that should not take the wind out of our sails. It should say, oh, it's taking a little pit stop to get some fuel because there's a gas station here. And that's what these highs and lows of previous ranges are for price action. Now, if this slices right through, what I'd be looking for is a price action coming back to this level and finding a little bit of support. Does that make sense? That's what we want to do there. Now, if this does get rejected here, we have a clear opportunity for an area to look for if this gets rejected. That's right down in here. We have an order block here that's also perfectly in line with where this previous range highs were, this trend line that comes right in here. So if this gets rejected and comes down and loses, we were looking at this 40 cent mark. And if we lose this, I think things are leaning more bullish. So I can't really see this just cascading down, barring some other huge event or news story or, you know, it's finalized as a security or something like that. But otherwise, I think that this is going to find support somewhere in this region if it gets rejected. And right now, this is looking like it's coming into some weakness on the 4 hour, even though we have the price action pushing up. You see how we have the stochastics are down. RSI is trying. Let me go ahead and go in here. Make this very bright. See that the RSI is trying to push up, but stochastic still angled down, momentum still angled down. What's it look like on the 1 hour? 1 hour. So 1 hour, look at this. Came down low, stochastics came down low. The RSI started moving up. This was our signal. See how this RSI is moving up here as the price action is flat? This is our signal that something was likely brewing in this region. And where did this come down to? Look at this, previous range highs. Now, turn this on, get down 24-minute. Order block sitting right on top of it. But look, on the 24-minute, look at these stochastics all the way up here at 93%. I'm looking at the percentage points here on the right-hand side. But this is looking bullish. Even if we get a pullback, this money flow is kind of coming like this. This is what we want to see. The momentum is angled to the upside while this is up very high. So we're going to want to watch what happens with Cardano at this level. If it does break through it, we may clear some shorts and this may move higher, only to then come back and test this level. Now, what are we looking at XRP? Let's actually come down here. Quant. Let's do quant first and we'll do XRP. Coming up, look at this. For the retest, broke this line. Are we going to get a move down? What are we looking like? What are we looking like over here? QNT. All right. This is on the 15-minute. Option T. These quick keys work on TradingView on exchanges as well, just so you know. Makes it a lot easier. Again, quick tip for you all. If you have too many indicators on like this and you want to see the chart, if you double click on the chart, it minimizes the indicators. If you want them back, just double click again, comes back. If you want to see this large, you can go into depth like this and it goes full screen. So there's a lot of different things you can do. Not depth, sorry, this expand screen thing right here. Now, quant. I was talking about this, I think it was on this date, December 5th, 2 days ago, on the Discover Crypto show and on the BitLab Academy show. I said, hey, man, everything's been running and quant has not moved yet. It's been sitting here right at $99 to $100. I do think it's going to move. The next day, boom, this has moved up. Now look at this breakdown. Now it's retesting this zone. Not only is this a trend line, but it's also coming up into this order block zone. Why are order blocks important? Well, first off, what I love about the BitLab trading stack, which you can get right here at bitlabacademy.com, if you come here to enroll now, if you get the BitLab Pro, you get all the indicators, you get access to the full premium Discord with our community and charts and setups, as well as the courses. That's the Pro. Or you can get just the all access, which gives you the courses and the community. If you want just the indicators, come here to indicators right there, and you can get just the indicators without, then you'll have limited access to the Discord and all that kind of stuff. But these indicators are incredible. It's the only thing I use to trade. Sometimes I'll show Lux Algo or Market Cipher or the traditional indicators here on stream just to help show you guys what's going on. But when I'm trading, all I'm using is the BitLab trading stack because it integrates everything you need. Now we can see order blocks right here on the BitLab volume, which is part of the trading stack. It automatically propagates these areas that essentially become liquidity magnets, also supports and resistances. This red block here, there's a lot of orders that came in right in this region. So we want to, pay attention to the fact that price was moving to the upside, and then we have a new low. We really want to watch right here. If we have a new low followed by a new lower low followed by a new lower high, this is indicating to me weakness, and this will likely come down and stair step down, likely coming down to this previous range high, which is right here, perfectly in line over here. Look at this with where an order block is. So this is an area that of interest for me for quant coming back down in 104. Does that mean I think it has to go there? No, that does not mean that. This means I am prepared if and when it does. This very well with the frothy market that we have right now with everything on the horizon, and we're in a holiday season. If things just break out and go away, great. We had a target set. We didn't get it. Let's look to the next target. Does that make sense? We let the market come to us. Now, if this does break out here, find support. If this does, so we have a target here. If we don't get that, great. Doesn't matter to me. Because if this does break out, I don't feel like I missed a move. I wait for this to come back and test these highs and then take this level out right there, and I take that trade for the upside price action. Now, what does Atom look like? Atom, we're on the 1 hour. Let's go to the 6 hour. Look at that. We got a pretty nice trend line here. And this is looking like a rising, ascending triangle, rising level of support, flat level of resistance. And look at this. Look at all this red right above us. We have an order block that's all the way back from over here in June 2023. And we have a substantiated further order block printed right here, November 13th. And we are just, look, we've tapped, but this getting higher and higher and higher. I think I'd be watching for this to have a fake out to the downside and more likely not come up and break up. We do have a lot of bearishness here. One of my favorite things about the BitLab Trend Fuel, part of the BitLab trading stack, we have the momentum waves, which are all these white bars. Of course, we can see when there's a lot of buying power, these green bars, that shows there's a lot of buying pressure under the momentum. When we have the red bars, there's a lot of selling pressure. You see this? Then we have the money flow, which is purple and blue. We have the stochastics, which is orange line. We have the RSI here. We can see when there's divergences forming. There's been divergences forming all the way since back here on October 31st, and this has just been ripping higher. This is why you don't use one data point of a signal to make a trade. We had divergences saying, hey, we need to keep our eyes open for an opportunity for this to potentially reverse. And what is this? Maybe we didn't get a signal on here, but we see previous range highs and the lows right here, all this area, and the order block that was created. It broadcasted out into the future. So when the price came up into this level, that was a pretty good clue for us to potentially look for taking some profit. So we're on the 6 hour. We saw no signal. So, but let's see if we come down to the 1 hour, if we got some signal when we came into that. So look at that. We had high volume candles, which are these teal candles. And then we have the yellow candle, which is stopping volume. This is following all of that. Those divergences that were coming in. Let me take off some of those lines. There we go. All of those divergences that were coming in. So if you want better resolution, you're looking at the 6 hour, divide it down to a 1 hour and then down to the 24-minute to really identify what area, the exact position you want to take the trade. Where am I at? Here we are. Boom. So we saw the high volume candle and then the stopping volume. And then the break of this trend signal line right here. And we have the bearish divergence on the smaller time frame. Look at this. Higher high, lower high right here on the stochastics. High, higher high. This is opposite. This is pushing higher while the strength was saying this is getting weaker. So we're utilizing the data sets. We can look at a higher time frame, but then pull our trade triggers on the smaller time frame because we get basically, you're zooming in, getting better resolution on candles to really identify it. Now, if we really want to zoom in here, let's go ahead and put a option V, put a vertical line there. Now we can get down to the 15 minutes. I just put a vertical line so we can see exactly where it's at. Now look at this. High volume kind of faltered. High volume, stopping volume. High volume, stopping volume. Now this was a great signal right here. Why? Because look at this. We already saw on the 6 hour that there's bearish divergences coming in. We're coming up into a known level. And then at that known level, which is the previous range breakdown and the order block, we zoom into the 1 hour. The 1 hour show we had high volume and stopping volume. So now we zoom into the 15 minutes and we can see on the 15 minutes, what are we seeing right here? Huge, huge downtrend on the stochastics, this orange line. And where did that downtrend start? Oops. That downtrend started before the breakdown of the price action right there. So you see, this is pushing down as this price is pushing up. So what I'd be looking for here is not that I take a trade right here on the stopping volume. What I do is I look, okay, stopping volume, this will likely reverse. Now we break down, we get a little bit lower low right there, but we find support on the trend signal line in this dynamic support zone here on the BitLab Intelligence, part of the BitLab trading stack. We push up, now we have a new lower high. We find resistance right here on the 20 moving average EMA ribbon. We see this right here. And then now we lose this level, which is not only this low, but the trend signal line. So this would have been the signal. We had all this foreshadowing of what was going to happen. And then the price action in the chart tells us, okay, this is underway. And then from this move, option V, from this move to the move to the downside, what is this move? From boom right there, let's take the candle that closed. So that moved down. That's a 12% move down. You go to the wick, that's 13%. But yeah, let's say 12% down. And that would be trading on spot, not even using leverage. So Adam, what are we looking at right now? A little bit of a lesson within the TA breakdown, because we can't just look at what the price is doing in this moment. We want to know how the hell to navigate this. So this is trying, it's doing work. Dip, look at this, W formation pushed up, came down. A little bit of a, tapping here on this area. We had 6 bullish divergences right here. A print from the BitLab trading stack here on BitLab Intelligence. And what do we get? As soon as we broke this trend signal line, explosion to the upside. Does this mean it's going up and away? Well, we have this bearish signal right here, right in this order block. We're coming right into that order block again. So if we can take this out, then we can discuss this level right here, the 1022. But my bet would be that this comes up into this region and likely comes back down and tests this again down at 971. And then we can talk about potentially lower. What is XRP doing? I said I'd go over that. Ooh, just chop zone. We're on the 15 minutes. Let's go to the 4 hour. So large rising parallel channel here. Okay, and this is, if you want to know where this is from, comes all the way back here, December 2020. This point here, but look at this, touch point here. This is exactly where that XRP news, when they won back in June, price pumped, look, directly up to this level, came back down, and now we've just been flirting with this line. We've been flirting with this line, just break down, look, support, resistance, support across, and we're sitting right now right in this 382 level from this move. Let's go ahead and delete this. We can redraw it. So option V, or option F, I mean, coming down here. Actually, it's a 0.5 level. I don't know where that other fib was drawn from. 0.5 level. If we could take this out, this is the next area we're contending with, 67. This is a big area because not only is it the golden pocket, we also have these previous range highs right here. Boom, boom. So this is going to be a big level. We could take out 67. I think we're going to be fairly on our way to coming up here and retesting this range high at 72 cents. If we take that out, then I think things are really good for the markets, especially with XRP, and this will likely start really working its way up towards this 90 mark. This 90 mark is going to be a big area. And then onward and upward. Okay, let's go ahead and do 2 more coins, and we're going to get this going. I got a question for you right now, though. We got 65 people, sorry, we got 65 likes on this video currently. We got over 130, 140 people in the room. Everybody hit that like button. If you're into crypto, if you're learning something, if you want to know more, join our community. Become a member here on the channel. We do private member streams as well. I also share charts in the members area. Some of them pulled from the Discord and different calls and stuff that we're doing. But also get involved at bitlabacademy.com. Join us there. Now, let's go ahead and jump back into these charts. Let's see what we got. Let's do DOT. I know DOT has been gearing up. And look at this. Pooey. What do you guys see here? Let me know what you see. Type it in the comments. That's beautiful. Giant inverted head and shoulders at a market bottom. This is what I want to see. I want to see the chart telling me the story of where it thinks it wants to go. So let's go ahead and take this, angle this to the upside from the neckline there. The neckline is these inverted head and shoulders. It's the support level, sorry, the resistance level, the point from which you kind of broke down from, but also the resistance level, and the point from which you can call the breakout. So this has already started to break out. Does this mean it's going up to this level all the way up here to 949, 941? Not necessarily in one motion. Got to do the work. So what I see is likely happening is this price action either now, which is basically at this point of control, or pushing a little higher into this order block zone right here, which is up at 662. But at some point, if that does not happen, I'm looking for a likely, at some point, retrace down to test this level right in here. On the break up of here, that is the opportunity to really take this trade on a consistently profitable sort of conservative strategy that you let the chart do the work and you don't get chopped out because this pushes up, you jump in and then it drops down. You're like, and you jump out and then it explodes. You're like, what the, let the price action come to you. Okay. Now, this is looking really good on the daily. Golly, that's looking sexy as it can be. Now this does look like, oh man, on the 24, let me look at this on the daily again. So on the daily, this is just pushed up. On the 1 hour, you could argue that this has come down and retested this already. So this is why you look at multiple time frames. Oops. This is why you look at multiple time frames, because this one could argue that this has been tested and pushed up. And look at this. This is taking that area. I do think that there's going to be a little bit of weakness. If there's any pullback on Bitcoin and struggle within the market, there's opportunity in this region if it comes back to this region. Now let's go ahead and do, Solana has been ripping over the last couple weeks. We called this beautifully. Golly. Look at that. Option T coming up there. one could argue that this is already in this is already in process of breaking out as we speak. We're on the 6-hour chart. Stochastics are angled up. Momentum is, money flows back positive. We got a mixture of bullish and neutral signals, which is not bad. Let's get down to the 1 hour. 1 hour, look at that. Volume came in. That may be some liquidations. It may just be interest, but volume came in on this breakout. That's a good sign because you see right here, this fake out, look down here. Not much volume, not more volume. It's just in line with the volume of that area. That kind of signaled to you that this was likely a little bit of a fake out. Now, you could argue that this could kind of be like that. Yeah. So we're in process of trying to break out here on Solana as we speak. Was this looking like on the 24-minute? Pushing up. Look at that. Came back, tried to retest it a little bit, breaking up. We have an order block directly above our head. Now, what's the target on this, though? Man, look at that. Man, this is a bull flag if I ever saw one. So let's do it from the middle. And this is looking, ooh, golly, that is a move. If that were to play out, if that were to break out and really sustain, that's a target up here in the 189 range. Now, I'm not taking this and saying it's going there. I'm saying this is a very bullish structure, and a move towards this direction is very likely if the market can hold. The problem I have right now, though, is that we're having a little bit of higher highs back here and lower highs here as the price is coming up. So I want to watch for some market weakness here and a potential push up and a retest, a real retest, a push up here and a real strong retest of this region to take that opportunity for it to move higher. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. We have not looked at the Dixie. That's DJI. Where's Dixie? Leave. Look at that dominance. I've had this, those of you who've been watching this stream, I've had this marked out for months. This level right here, which is the dominance. And we see it's coming in as button heads right now. We're currently at 54.20%. We went up to 55%. Do you guys think this is going to break out? If this breaks out, which I think if the ETF gets launched, or when it gets approved, I do think the dominance of Bitcoin is going to push up for a period of time. But we are finding a little bit of resistance here. We just need to keep our eyes on this. Total market cap. Look at this, man. Large ascending triangle. This was telling us about right here, especially when we really formed this ascending triangle. Flat level resistance. We formed the level of support here, bounced on this, came up into this region. Look at this, hesitated, broke out, found support, and then it's pushed higher. This is beautiful. Things are looking good. I'm not calling out small pullbacks along the way, but things at some point, you know, this market's been ready for this for a long time. So everybody stay vigilant, be smart, get in our Discord, check out these different calls, stock trades, NFTs, trading strategies. This is just in the Discord. But, you know, chart requests, you know what I mean? Discussion around what's going on. VIP chat. This is all the people in here just talking and being friends and also asking questions, sharing knowledge on this market. Get involved with the Discord. You get that as a part of the BitLab Academy membership, all access, as well as the BitLab Pro. That's this one here and this one here. You get full access with that, as well as all the courses. And we're currently working on adding more courses in here. These are full video courses broken down at, you know, the on-chain data course. It's every different charts per lesson broken down. So it's not hour-long courses. They're on average about 7 to 10 minutes with quizzes and tests. And you can come in here, tune yourself up, get in the Discord, continue on with the different charts and setups and signals and discussion and classrooms. Joshua Jake's doing classrooms in here in the members area. Where's it at? right here in this member stage. I'm also doing member streams in here for the BitLab Academy members. So I love you guys all. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ding the bell. Join us here on a regular basis. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for being involved in crypto. Thank you for being here on the stream. Everybody, before I leave, how many people are still here? Did you learn something today? Are you going to buy something or sell something today? Let me know in the chat. Roll call, drop your emojis, and let me know on your way out what's the next emoji you want to add. I think we're almost at the threshold. I think we have a couple more, and we can add another emoji here for the BitLab members. So let me know or comment down below what you think the next emoji should be to keep it fun for the members. I'll be seeing all of it. I love you all. I appreciate you. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Adios. Adios, muchacha. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Hit that like button, sucker. BitlabAcademy.com.